Praise the Lord, guys. My name is Straw Greenhorn. And after all these things, Jesus said, I thank thee, Father, Lord of heaven and earth, for thou hast hid these things from the prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes. Even so, for it seemed good in your will. All things are delivered to me of my Father, and nobody knoweth the Son except the Father, and nobody knoweth the Father except the Son, and to him whom the Son will reveal him. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I shall give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my burden is light and my yoke is easy. So here we see Jesus being a little thankful and giving an exhortation, come unto him. For after these things he said, I thank thee, Father, for thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes. Even so, for it seemed good in thy will. Meaning that he has hidden these things from those that think that they are wise, those that know it all. He has hidden these things from the wise and prudent. Yeah, those that try to think their way through, those that when you talk to them, you can tell that they think they're right in their own eyes. It's the same thing when he said, he has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and the weak things of the world to confound those things that are mighty, that no flesh shall glory in his presence. Because you gotta understand, the wise and prudent, what they usually come with, they think because they know it all, that they actually live up to it all. Because living and knowing is two different things. And what you usually find with those that know, they come with a sense of arrogance sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. And you can see them, it's like in their mind, they're using these things to calculate themselves into heaven while calculating others into hell. It's the same thing that happened in the temple when two men went up to pray. He gave the parable, one a publican and one a Pharisee. The Pharisee prayed and said, Lord, I thank you that I'm not like this man, this publican, a sinner, an extortioner, an adulterer. And he listed a whole bunch of things, and he started talking about the good things about himself. I give tithes of everything I own, I give unto the poor, and I this and that and that. But then the other guy, the sinner, he didn't even lift up his eyes to heaven, and he just beat his chest and said, Lord, I thank you for having mercy on me, a sinner. And Jesus said that it was this man and not the know-it-all, not the Pharisee, that went home rather justified. So it's the same thing here. He has hidden it, the wise and prudent, and has revealed it unto babes. Because he said that it's so simple that even a child could be able to understand it. It's so simple that even a child should be able to understand it. I've chosen the weak things of the world to confound those things that are mighty. I've chosen the foolish things to confound those things that are wise. Because what's happening is that when people gain a certain level of knowledge, they think that they graduate to being, better than others. They graduate into an untouchable, form where they assume that, they're living right and doing everything right by God's eyes, just because they know while God is looking at them. Because, to hide things from the wise and prudent is to keep it in God's hands. Because if not, then they will take things into their hands and they will start judging the world. And based on what they would do, you would see that they do not have it right. Because the people that they would select, it would be for the wrong reasons. They would start selecting people for external reasons. What did he say? After Saul, look not on the height of his stature, neither on the beauty of his countenance. No, it was to David's brothers when Samuel went down to the house of Jesse and he was selecting a king. Look not on the height of his stature, neither on the beauty of his countenance, for I have refused them. For I the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but I the Lord looketh on the heart. I look on the inside. And that's when he said, it's not what goes inside the man that defiles him, but what comes out. Because what goes in, it goes into the belly and is passed out into the draught. But what comes out to the man is what comes from the heart. Murderers, adulteries, fornication, thefts, lasciviousness. So I have hid these things from the wise and prudent, and I reveal them unto babes. Because with being a babe, and that's why he said you got to be born again. Because being born again, you're born as a newborn baby, and baby has a certain level of humility about them. And they just want to be everybody's friend. They just want to be happy. That's all. They don't have time for politics and politics. They don't have time to be included and excluded, to be looking down on people. And then he said, because you have seen it so good in your eyes. Because God, when he judges, he considers everything. And this is what he ended up with as his final decision. So it seemed it was good in his eyes. All things are now delivered to me of my Father, and no one knows the Son but the Father, and the Father but the Son, and to him whom the Son will reveal him unto. So at this point, all authority was delivered unto Jesus, the whole world and the judgment of all things. That's why in Revelation it says, and I saw, behold, a lamb slain from the foundation of heaven. He had overcome. That's when they had the book with the 7 seals that needed to be unsealed, that nobody was worthy to open it, and they found him worth to be worthy. So here's all things being delivered into his hands, especially the judgment. That's the most important thing that's delivered into his hands, because he can always make new heavens and new earth, and he can always create new people, but he needs to address the judgment, because the judgment is what's gonna address everything that's going wrong. Because if he creates just new things, it can also be destroyed, and it needs to be in the hands of somebody that's going to judge righteously, somebody that's going to judge with righteousness. And after God's heart. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I shall give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my burden is light and my yoke is easy. Come unto me, all ye that labor and heavy laden. You know, life can be hard sometimes. And we get a lot of stress and we get a lot of problems and we run into problems. The Bible says that money answereth all things, but not everyone has money. And for people that have money, it's other problems that they have. It's going to manifest in whatever problems going to find you. So come on to me, whether your problems be money, because I know for the majority of the world, it's going to be money. But for those that have, it's going to be other things. It's going to be the quality of their friends, the relationships. It's going to be people that are around them and, who looking to rip them off. Come on to me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, whatever your problem, whatever your laden might be, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke unto you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest of your souls. Because there was an exchange that took place on Calvary's cross. Jesus, he took the heavy burden and he gave us the light burden. It is said that he who knew no sin became sin so that we might become the righteousness of God. He who knew no burdens took our burdens so that we might be free. So he actually took the heavy part and he gave us the easy part. And that's what he's saying here. For I am meek and lowly in heart. I'm not pompous. I might be the creator of all things and I own all the silver and the gold, all the cattle on 1,000 hills, but I am humble and meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For this joy that we have, the world didn't give us, the world can't take it away. He shall keep him in perfect peace, him whose heart and mind is stayed upon him. My name is Straw Greenhorn.